Hello everyone. We're going to try this again because it wasn't working before. So, every Thursday I'm going to go either live in this group or live on my page, and it's just going to be chatty stuff we're going to talk about. So, every other Thursday it'll either be here or on the Soul Cadence page. When I go live here, it's going to be talking about stuff due to working mamas, working from home mamas, and different things that fall into that. And today we're going to talk about ways to add some movement into our lives if we like work from home, but also if we deal with like chronic health or mental health issues. So if you deal with any of those, you know as well as I know that it can be just hard to do anything. And honestly, today is like the best day to talk about this because I'm having one of those days. I'm just in a lot of pain, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Now, if you stumble across this video after it's shared on my page or on YouTube and you're like, well, duh, these things make sense. Everyone does these things or whatever. This video is not for you, so you could probably just like leave or stay and watch. Just know that yes, these things might be things that are done by everybody, but they're much harder if you deal with chronic pain or chronic illness or anything like that. So this is for those that are like me that have those issues and they're like, I need to move more, I need to get my body going, and I don't know how. Or those living with people like that who want to understand them better. This video might be a good one for you to watch if you're like, I don't get it. And I've decided that from now on, when I do my videos, because instead of me just talking to you guys, I'm going to do my nails. Now, these are Color Street, and I order them from a Color Street nail person. But the company that makes Color Street is called, I don't know what they're called. But Color Street is one of their brands, and they actually sell nail strips like this at Ulta and at Walmart. And so these ones that I have right now are from Color Street itself, which is their widest line, their biggest variety. But this is how I do my nails because it's not messy, it's really clean, it's easy. So every Thursday, you're just gonna do my nails with me while we talk. On my other page, it's gonna be Inspiration Thursdays every other Thursday. And Inspiration Thursdays are going to be the days that we talk about the things, the people, whatever that's on my mind that's inspiring me. Last week we talked about some YouTubers that are really have been beneficial as I've navigated this life of having a new chronic illness diagnosis as we figured things out. And next week's, I'm not sure who it's going to be, but I think it might be some new author Instagrammer people that I have found, and I might include some author tubers in that as well because they've also been inspirational to me as an author. So today we're gonna do my nails it's called, this color is blue, this blue color, it's called Geeking Out, and I'll show you kind of how I do them a little bit and we'll just talk. So today we're talking all about adding movement in because if you don't know my story, or maybe you do know my story, I'm not sure. I've had some health issues over the past couple of years, and we didn't exactly know like what was going on. And so I had a few different answers from different people, and then I also just don't like doctors, so I didn't go to the doctor a lot. I just kind of suffered in silence and didn't talk about things, and so I got some answers like 6 or 7 years, how many years ago now? 5 or 6 years ago now, about 5 years ago now, 2015-ish, that time period. And, got some answers, started making some changes, started feeling a little better in some areas and some areas not so much. Fast forward to 2018, my husband and I got pregnant shortly after getting married. And I had a rough pregnancy, and things were just not going ideally, as it were. And then came the postpartum time, and I'll fix those later. So these nail strips are full nail polish, and they just go on, and you follow the instructions. they're almost peel and stick, and you follow the instructions and then your nail is done. But I always like to prep my nail first. So I like to open their little nail file. I like to file them a little bit, and then this nail needs to be cut, but it probably won't be. So I like to buff them, file them a little bit, and then I like to put on the nail. So let's go back. So I was pregnant with my daughter, who is 19 months now. And once I had her, health issues kind of came, and then came the postpartum depression and anxiety. And with that was just a lot of questions, and it was a little scary, and I wasn't sure what was going on. And so with that, I just, I don't know, it wasn't great. We found some answers there as well. We got, I got some help that I needed to get through that period. And then at 5 months, when my daughter was 5 months old, well, when she was 6 months old, we discovered that we were expecting again. So I had 2 pregnancies back to back, and my son was born March of this year, right as quarantine was starting. And for me, coming home with him, my postpartum depression that I had with my daughter never fully went away because I got pregnant again, so hormones and all that stuff. And so we raised my medication levels, and we were keeping an eye on things. And when I got home, my health went downhill. So while everyone in the world is worried about COVID, we're trying to figure out what's going on with me. So now we have answers, and we know what we're probably dealing with, and now we can treat it, and that's been really good. So that brings me to today's topic of how do we move if we have chronic pain or chronic health issues. Because let me tell you, before my son was born, actually, it's pretty much from January till he was born, I was on bed rest for the most part, because there was just some things going on. And then, so I just put the nail polish on the nail, like so, smooth it out, and then I'm gonna trim it off. So with my son, there was stuff going on, so I was on modified bed rest. And before lockdown, I already wasn't really leaving the home very much. And so that was an issue. And I was so looking forward to my son getting here and feeling better, because then I would be able to do more and experience more and get out of the house, and then quarantine hit. So then there was that. But once he came, I just was dealing with a lot of stuff, and even the act of getting out of bed some days was just not even an option. Like, I physically, my body just was like shutting down, it felt like. And so it was an issue. It was a big deal for me as I really just tried to figure out what to do. But I was gaining weight because I was postpartum, I wasn't moving, I didn't feel like moving, my body hurt, which again, today is one of those days. I have some headache issues going on. So I've always had migraines, chronic migraines. I have a new chronic headache condition that I'm actually seeing a neurologist for soon. And then they think that my body pain and some of the other things I've been dealing with are fibromyalgia related. And so that's what we're treating, and it's actually been getting better. So I think that we're right about that. So we're on the right track with that. So with that, I was thinking, well, how am I going to fit in movement? My husband and I started Weight Watchers, and I knew that activity points were a thing, but I was like, I can barely, we're not going anywhere. It's summer in Oklahoma. I'm not going to work out outside. That's not going to happen. When I lived in California, I was more apt to do things and go out in the summertime, and here in Oklahoma, I just don't do that because it's ridiculous. So how do we fit in more movement? So this is for the 6 out of 10 adults in America that have chronic health issues, and that's not even including chronic mental health issues, which also makes it very difficult to get out of bed some days. This is for us so that we can fit in more movement in our days, because our bodies are meant to move. That's what they're designed to do. That's how they were made. So if you fall into this category, you have chronic pain, fatigue, chronic illness, a chronic mental health issue, or you just find yourself like home a lot, like you're just home, or you sit at a desk at work a lot and you're just like not moving. All these tips will work for all of that. But I really wanted to do this for people who experience that chronic pain, these chronic health concerns that make it hard to get out of bed. So thumbs are done. Now I'm going to move on to my, I'm going to do my pinky and then work my way back to my pointer finger, because I use my pointer finger to like cut the edges of my stuff, so I do them last. So with that, let's dive in. So the first thing I would say, and this is going to sound really silly, but get a fitness tracker of some kind. So this is mine. It's a Fitbit. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of Fitbit. And the reason why I say this is because when my husband and I decided that we both needed to get healthier and I needed motivation to get moving, we bought these long before that, when we were first married and we were wanting to be healthy. And we had a time where we had the ability to get them. We decided to get them. They're one of the least expensive Fitbits that we could find, because the phone just wasn't cutting it for us, the Apple Health step counter thing. But what I liked about this, I think it's just called the HR maybe, but what I like about the Fitbit is it shows what we're doing and then where we can improve. And for me, where I started, so that pinky is done. These take so little time. They're already dry when you put them on your nails. So that's good, because if you're anything like me, waiting for nails to dry is like one of the worst experiences in the world. But I love having my nails done. And so this is what I do. So Thursdays, this is where you'll find me doing my nails. It'll either be Thursday mornings or Thursday afternoons, depending on what I have going that Thursday. And like I said, today was just one of those days where getting started was really rough, and I have a full day of work on Thursdays. So back to the fitness trackers, why they're important is because when we know where we're starting, we know where we need to go. And with that, I would say set a reachable goal. Set a goal that you can attain, because when I started, after having my son, after being bedridden for a while and then just not being able to do much because of the headaches, and I was literally working from my bed. So when I was working, I was still in bed because I physically I couldn't do it. So from there, then I put this back on, and the first few days that I looked at it, when things hadn't changed too much, I literally was doing less than 1,000 steps a day. That's bad, y'all. That's real bad. And so it gives you a baseline of where you're starting, and you can know where you need to go. So set a reasonable goal. So my goal now is 3,500 a day, and I almost, I hit that pretty much every day now, and then I pass it most days, depending on the day and what's going on. But I do pass that most days now. But if you remember back to what I said, when everything was in the worst of it, I was literally at less than 1,000 steps a day. And our bodies, you guys, whether we have a chronic illness or not, our bodies are not meant to do that. Whether we're depressed or anxious or not, our bodies are not meant to do that. They are meant to be moved much, much more than that. So that's the first one. So the second one is every day, just every single day, get up and get dressed. Change your clothes. Put on fresh clothes for the day. wear something that you didn't wear to bed the night before. And the reason for that is, one, you also change your mind. Like, some of these are going to have bonuses. So the bonus for this one is you change your mindset of like, okay, I was in bed, now I'm ready for the day. And then move to a new spot. Move out of bed. Even if you go sit on a couch, even if you go sit in a recliner in another room, get yourself up and go somewhere so that you have differentiated. Now, for some of us, there are days that we physically just can't. We physically cannot. And those days, you're going to want to have grace for yourself. All of this is going to come with a healthy amount of self-grace and self-love and understanding from the people around you. But the days that you can, get up, get dressed, and go somewhere. Go somewhere else. Move to another location in the home or wherever you are. So that's another one. Then play with your pets. Play with your kids. If you've got kids at home, chances are they want to play more with mommy and daddy. If you have kids at home or pets at home, chances are they want more interaction with you. They want your affection and your attention. Now, maybe if you have a cat, your cat's a little standoffish, but even cats want your attention. So again, put it on the nail, smooth it out, and then I'm going to cut with my pointer finger, cut along there, and then I'll have perfectly done nails. Look how fast this is, and they're already dry, so great. They usually last about a week and a half, 2 weeks before they chip, but I'm going to be changing them every week because they're inexpensive as far as manicures go, and I really like them. So this is going to be our Thursday hangout. Just us doing nails. So, the bonus for playing with your kids or your pets is also that you're bonding with them. You're building this time of like just enjoyment. Like, they're just getting your time, your attention, and you're moving. You're being able to do things. Now, some people, again, are probably watching this going, well, duh, like, of course you want to do those things. If you're one of those people, then chances are you've never had one of the conditions that I'm talking about. You've never been bedridden, or you've never felt overwhelmed by an illness or depression or anxiety. And good, I'm glad you've never felt that experience. But if someone around you has that experience, this might give you a little insight into what they're going through. So that's the bonus there. It gives you bonding time. Your kids love it. Your pets love it. So playing with your kids and your pets is just such a good way to do that. So there's that. So I now only have 2 fingers left to do. I've done my thumbs. I've done all my fingers. I only have 2 left. So it's super easy. I love these things. Again, Color Street, find you a Color Street nail artist and get some Color Street, or go to Ulta. They sell In Cocoa is the brand that Ulta has, and Coconut Nail Art is the one that Walmart carries. They're all produced by the same company. They just have different designs, colors, varieties, and they're at different price points for that reason. So their more premier line is sold by Color Street. It costs more, has the most designs, but I will be using all of them for as long as I can because I love them. They're so easy. It's just so nice. I'm not trying to I don't make them perfect every time. Like, some people are so good at this, but anyway, so, again, so it goes on and then I smooth it out. So yeah, so playing with your kids and pets, and then I have notes over here. Sorry, that's what I'm looking at because, then another recommendation, just if you work from home and you're trying to figure this out and you are sitting all day, get up and move 5 minutes every hour. If you move 5 minutes every hour and you do that for an 8-hour workday, you have 40 minutes of movement. If you do that for a 6-hour workday, you have 30 minutes of movement. And so that's another good idea. But then also maybe invest in some kind of standing desk or something where you can, I'm going to plug in my phone while we're chatting. So where you can stand up for part of the day and you can, you can stand up for part of the day and you can kind of move that way. That's another way that we can make sure that we, and I'll go through and clean all this up in a minute, but I'm getting off some of these edges, that we can get movement in, or we can do things without just sitting down. So also doing simple cleaning tasks, like cleaning is exercise, okay guys? Throwing in a load of laundry, doing it from start to finish, that is an exercise. Standing at the sink, doing dishes, vacuuming, sweeping, mopping, doing some of these cleaning things really will get some movement on your trackers. Also, maybe if it's not too hot or too cold outside, taking a quick break and walking down your street, walking a few steps away from your house. Bonus for this one, vitamin D and sunshine and fresh air, because we're all stuck inside this year. So that's another thing. Another is just have a dance party. Maybe turn on your favorite song and dance, turn on your kids' favorite program and dance to like their little kiddie songs. Like my daughter watches The Wiggles. The Wiggles are always dancing, singing, moving. So if you do their dances, then like the propeller, the whirly bird, the whatever the Wiggles are doing nowadays, you're gonna get a workout. So dance party with your favorite song or with your kids. Just do one song, or do one song, then wait like till the next episode, do one song in that episode. That's gonna get you moving. And then YouTube has a bunch of beginner level workout videos. Throw one of those on and do what you can of that. Yoga's really good for those of us that have like this kind of pain, this kind of stuff we're dealing with. So think about that too. And then I have some other ideas that were kind of secondary to some of these. Some of these were the biggest ones that I could think of that I was like, yeah, those are things that we need to count as us getting moving, us exercising, because our bodies, our muscles are not meant to sit still. One of my other thoughts was to get a hobby, get something else you're interested in that's going to get you up, moving out of bed, because then what can happen, all my nails are done now. Woohoo, it was so quick. I love it. So then what can happen is if we get this new hobby, maybe it's not a hobby that moves a lot, but whatever it is, maybe it's knitting, it keeps your hands moving, or something like that, then it helps us to feel better. We have more to do, more to get up and go for. And then the last thing is practice personal hygiene every day. Now, again, this one, to those of you that have never dealt with any of what I'm talking about, are probably like, yeah, personal hygiene every day, right? If you're in an extreme amount of pain, or if you have a migraine, or if you suffer from cluster headaches, or you have depression, those tasks, showering can feel like a marathon. Let me tell you, a short shower can feel like a long distance marathon. So doing daily tasks, brushing our hair, putting our hair up, putting on makeup, changing our clothes, getting out of bed, doing these things daily really do add to our movement count. They get us motivated to do a little more. And they also take care of ourselves. When we're therapists, we look for people who are suffering in that area, because that shows a lower level of personal functioning when you're dealing with this, and you want to know if your clients are there. And so for those of us that go through this, that's something we want to be aware of. So doing those daily tasks is going to be vital. Plus, it's just taking care of yourself. Like, it just is good for you. So those are my ways of getting in movement into your day when you're dealing with these kinds of issues. And remember, show yourself grace. Be gentle with yourself. Find people that understand or who are willing to support you while you're figuring all this out. Treatment can take time, and it can change sometimes. We have flare-ups, things like that. We have, in mental health, we call them episodes. So whatever have you. If you're just sitting at a desk at work, that 5 minutes every hour thing can actually help a lot, as well as like walking to the break room to eat, not eating at your desk, taking a walk around the building after lunch is a really good one. Bringing your own food from home. Again, this is more of like a food hack, but like if you're making your own food at home, that's adding movement to your day too. I forgot to say that. Like making your own food adds movement, but also like you're eating better. So that's a bonus there. Like, woo, I'm eating better. And most of these have another bonus, like the bonus of your hygiene stuff is like, oh, I'm taking care of myself. So think about that, because even if you do work out of the home, but you sit at a desk all day, you want to work some of these in so that you're moving more, because I gained so much weight when I worked after college, when I sat down and I was working at a desk all day instead of working in retail. And then when I left that job and started working at a gym and I was up on my feet all day and doing everything, and I was smaller again, and now we're back up again. So working these in actually help us to maintain a healthy body. So with that, thank you for joining me as I did my nails. If you're interested in them and you want like the big variety, I can connect you to someone who sells Color Street. I don't. I just buy them because I like them. But come find me on Thursdays. Do my nails with me. I'll try to make it to where I can show you a little more of what I'm doing, but I'll try to show along the way. Again, sometimes I do them perfectly or I do them better. This time I just was like doing it quick. So next week you'll find me live on Soul Cadence's page, not in this group. And then that video will be shared here, just like this one's going to be shared there. And then the videos will always be on YouTube afterwards as a do my nails with me and let's chat about stuff. So every other week will be something different. Every other Thursday will be an inspiration Thursday, and then the other Thursday will be let's just talk about how to be better work from home, business running mamas, authors, ministry leaders, while we also deal with chronic health and mental health issues, while I do one of my favorite acts of self-care, which is my nails. So with that, I'll see you guys soon. Bye, friends.